I'm Debra Meiburg and I'm with Marc Brevot of Moet Chandon. You are working for a winery with 250-year history.
Yeah, more or less, yes.
You know, what kind of pressure does that put on you?
It does put a certain pressure, of course, because you have the pressure of keeping on going with a celebrity, because Moet Chandon has become a celebrity. So you have to keep on going with this celebrity, still bringing the same values of wine to the people who are really waiting for it worldwide. So it does put you a certain type of pressure, but on another side, it does also gives you confidence, because you know you can rely on the long history of the house to really continue to push a little bit more the limits, the boundaries of the quality of the wines.
The wine we're drinking today, the rosé.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why rosé is so much more expensive than the others?
Well, rosé is a different one in the fact that it has specifically, so for Moet Chandon, it's a blending rosé. It's not so we blend a white blend and a red blend together. It's allowed in Champagne, not in other areas of France, but in Champagne it's allowed. And we use this technique, and the extra difficulty in rosé comes from the red wine making.
How do you ensure that the red that is added to the rosé, you know, has the softness, the elegance that you expect of a sparkling wine?
Well, first, we work different kinds of red wines depending on the cuvées. For a vintage rosé, of course, we have a more, I would say, traditional or usual method of making the red wines by maceration with the skins. For a non-vintage rosé, we have a more innovative technique, which is based on thermovinification, which has this specific ability to extract a lot of the fresh red fruit aromas, but not too much of the structure of the wines, and which leaves into the red wine this softness and this lightness that you are really expecting on this type of wine. On the vintage, it's a little bit different because you have the long maturity of the wine. So you can afford more concentration, more body into the red wines, because then the élevage on the lees, the breeding of the wine on the lees with the yeast is going to soften and integrate the red wine part into the final cuvée.
To create a good marriage.
Yes.
And one last question.
Yes.
Bubbles. Bubbles.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about bubbles? Because sometimes we hear bubbles are incredibly important, and then the visual, the texture. What are your thoughts about bubbles?
Bubbles are definitely incredibly important. Whatever the way we look at it, of course, on the marketing point of view, the celebrity of Champagne is based on the bubbles. But also, if you look at it technically, it's well known now. It has been studied in Moet Chandon that the bubbles are contributing to revealing the aromas of the wine when you're
bring it up.
Yeah, bringing up the aromas. And also, it's a big contributor into the tasting, the pleasure that you have of the wine on the palate when you drink the wine. Part of this pleasure, of course, comes from the bubbles tickling your palate. So you have to be delicate enough to bring you pleasure and not suffering.
Well, to tickling the palate.
Tickling the palate.